Today we are talking about one of the most shocking Lincoln pennies ever made, a coin that millions of people have touched, spent, or ignored, yet in rare condition it can be worth an unbelievable amount of money. This is the 1964 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny, a simple 1-cent coin that has stunned collectors with auction prices reaching as high as $88,545. Yes, you heard that right. A penny that could be worth more than a luxury car, a down payment on a house, or even years of salary for many people. Before you assume this is impossible, stay with me until the end of this video, because I will explain exactly why this penny can be so valuable, what makes certain examples rare, how to identify the most expensive versions, and most importantly how you can check your own coins to see if you are sitting on a hidden treasure. Let us begin by traveling back in time to the year 1964, a year that holds massive importance in American coin history. The early 1960s were a time of serious coin shortages in the United States. People were hoarding coins, silver prices were rising, and the U.S. Mint was under extreme pressure to produce enough coins for daily circulation. In response, the Mint produced enormous quantities of pennies in 1964, making it one of the highest mintage years ever for Lincoln cents. The Denver Mint alone struck over 3 billion 1964 D Lincoln pennies. That number is massive, and because of this, many people assume that the 1964 D penny must be common and worthless. And in most cases, that assumption is true. The majority of these pennies are only worth 1 or 2 cents today. However, within this ocean of ordinary coins exist a very small number of extraordinary examples that are worth a fortune. The 1964 D Lincoln penny features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln faces right, with the word Liberty to the left and the date 1964 to the right. Just below the date is the small D Mint mark, indicating that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint. On the reverse, we see the Lincoln Memorial, which had been used since 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Above the memorial are the words United States of America and E Pluribus Unum, while the denomination 1 cent appears at the bottom. The metal composition of the 1964 D penny is 95% copper and 5% zinc and tin. This makes it a solid copper coin, unlike modern pennies which are mostly zinc. Because of this high copper content, these coins already have intrinsic value due to copper prices alone. But copper value is not what makes this penny worth tens of thousands of dollars. The true value comes from condition, strike quality, and extremely rare varieties. One of the most important factors in determining the value of any coin is condition. In coin collecting, condition is measured on a grading scale, with higher grades being far rarer and more valuable. Most 1964 D pennies were heavily circulated and show wear, scratches, discoloration, and dull surfaces. These coins are common and inexpensive. But a very small number of 1964 D pennies survived in pristine condition, never entering circulation, preserved carefully since the day they were struck. The most valuable examples are graded mint state 67 or higher by professional grading services. These coins display razor-sharp details, blazing original red copper color, and almost flawless surfaces. Finding a 1964 D penny in this condition is extremely difficult, even though billions were made. That is because copper is highly sensitive to handling, moisture, and air, which causes toning, spotting, and damage over time. Now let us talk about why the highest quality examples command such enormous prices. In top mint state grades, population numbers are incredibly low. There may be only a handful of known examples at the highest levels. When wealthy collectors compete for the finest known coin, prices skyrocket. This is exactly how a 1964 D Lincoln penny reached a current market value of $88,545. Another major factor is strike quality. Many 1964 D pennies were struck quickly to meet demand, resulting in weak strikes with soft details, especially on Lincoln's hair and the lines of the Lincoln Memorial. Coins with strong, full strikes are much rarer and much more desirable. A sharply struck coin with bold details and perfect luster can multiply the value dramatically. In addition to condition and strike, collectors look closely for errors and varieties. Some 1964 pennies exhibit double die characteristics, repunched mint marks, or die cracks. While most of these varieties are minor, certain examples with dramatic doubling or unique die features can be extremely valuable, especially when combined with high-grade point. One of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting is the idea that valuable coins may still be hiding in plain sight. Many people have jars of old pennies at home, inherited collections, or coins saved decades ago. Because the 1964 penny looks so ordinary, it is often overlooked. But with careful inspection, magnification, and attention to detail, a rare example could be discovered. When checking your 1964 pennies, start by examining the color. The most valuable coins retain their original red copper color, not brown or dark red. Next, look at the surfaces under good lighting. Are there scratches, spots, or fingerprints, or does the coin look clean and smooth? Then examine the details. Lincoln's hair should be sharp, and the Lincoln Memorial lines should be clear and strong. If you believe you have a high-quality example, do not clean the coin. Cleaning can destroy its value instantly. Instead, store it safely in a protective holder and consider having it professionally graded. A certified grade is essential for achieving top dollar in the collector market. Now let us talk about the collector demand for Lincoln pennies. Lincoln cents are one of the most popular coins in the world. Millions of collectors build sets by date and mint mark, and many compete to own the finest examples available. This constant demand is what pushes prices higher for rare, top-grade coins. Even common dates like 1964 can become extremely valuable when they represent the best of the best. Auction records tell the real story. When a top-graded 1964 penny appears at auction, collectors know they may not see another example for years. This creates intense bidding wars, driving prices into shocking territory. That is how a 1-cent coin transforms into a 5-figure or even near 6-figure collectible. Another reason these coins continue to rise in value is the increasing interest in copper coins. As older copper pennies disappear from circulation, collectors and investors alike are paying closer attention to pre-1982 cents. The 1964 penny represents the end of an era when U.S. coins were made with high copper content, adding historical significance to its appeal. The story of the 1964 Lincoln penny is a perfect example of why coin collecting is so fascinating. It teaches us that rarity is not always about low mintage numbers. Sometimes rarity is about survival, preservation, and condition. Billions may have been made, but only a tiny number survived in perfect form. As we reach the end of this video, remember this important message. Do not underestimate the coins you already own. Take time to look through your change, your old jars, and your family collections. Learn what to look for, because knowledge is the key that turns ordinary objects into extraordinary discoveries. A simple 1964 Lincoln penny might not look special at first glance, but in the right condition, it can be worth $88,545 or more. That is life-changing money from a coin that most people would spend without a second thought. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of America's most surprising pennies, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with friends and family. You never know who might be holding a rare coin without realizing it. Until next time, keep checking your change, because history and hidden wealth could be sitting right in the palm of your hand. Today we are talking about a coin that most people ignore every single day, a penny that looks ordinary but can actually be worth an unbelievable amount of money, and that coin is the 1980 mint mark Lincoln penny. If you have ever thought pennies are useless after watching this video, you will never look at your spare change the same way again, because some versions of this 1-cent coin have sold for as much as $89,565. Yes, you heard that right, almost $90,000 for a single penny. So stay with me till the end, because I will show you exactly why this coin is so valuable, how to identify it, and what makes collectors pay life-changing money for it. The Lincoln penny is one of the most collected coins in American history. First introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, this coin has been in circulation for over a century, and while millions of Lincoln pennies were produced every year, only a small percentage of Them are truly rare and valuable. The 1980 Lincoln penny is one of those coins that hides massive value in very specific conditions and eras. Let us first understand the basic history of the 1980 Lincoln penny. In 1980, the United States Mint was still producing pennies using a copper composition that was 95% copper and 5% zinc. This is extremely important because just 2 years later, in 1982, the Mint switched to mostly zinc pennies with a thin copper coating, making the 1980 penny one of the last true copper pennies ever made. Because of this alone, many collectors already consider the 1980 penny special. Now, when we say NO mint mark, what does that mean? Coins produced in Philadelphia traditionally do not have a mint mark, so if your 1980 penny does not have a small letter under the date, then it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. In 1980, the Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of pennies, which makes most regular examples very common and usually worth only a few cents. However, value changes dramatically when condition, rarity, and mint errors come into play. The obverse of the 1980 Lincoln penny features Abraham Lincoln facing right with the words "I in God we trust" along the top, Liberty on the left, and the date 1980 on the right. The reverse shows the Lincoln Memorial with the words "United States of America 1 cent" and "E pluribus unum" above the memorial. This design was used from 1959 until 2008, making it familiar to everyone, but familiar does not mean worthless now. Here is where things get exciting. The real value of the 1980 no mint mark Lincoln penny comes from condition and rare errors. Coins that were struck perfectly and preserved in mint state condition can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, but error coins can reach truly shocking prices. One of the most valuable varieties of the 1980 penny is the doubled die error. A doubled die occurs when the coin die receives multiple impressions at slightly different angles, causing doubling on the design. This doubling is most commonly seen on the date, the word Liberty, or "I in God we trust" on genuine doubled die 1980 pennies. The doubling is strong, clear, and visible without magnification, and collectors are willing to pay huge money for these coins. Another extremely rare and valuable error is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank is not properly centered during the striking process, resulting in part of the design missing while the date remains visible. Off-center strikes from 1980 that show 50% or more off-center with a clear date can sell for thousands of dollars depending on condition. Broad strike errors are also highly desirable. A broad strike occurs when the coin is struck without the retaining collar, causing it to spread outward, resulting in a wider, flatter coin. These errors are visually dramatic and collectors love them, especially when the coin is in uncirculated condition. Another major error to look for is a clipped planchet. This happens when the metal sheet is improperly cut before the coin is struck, creating a curved or straight clip missing from the coin. Genuine clips will have smooth edges and distorted design near the missing area. 1980 clipped planchet pennies are rare and valuable. One of the most famous error types is the wrong planchet error. This occurs when a penny is struck on a metal intended for another coin, such as a dime or foreign coin. A 1980 penny struck on the wrong planchet can be extremely valuable, and these are the types of coins that can reach prices close to or even exceeding $89,000 when authenticated and graded. Now let us talk about condition, because condition is everything in coin collecting. A regular 1980 no mint mark penny in circulated condition is usually worth only 1 to 5 cents. However, coins graded in mint state by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can be worth significantly more. A 1980 penny graded MS67 or higher is extremely rare because copper coins easily develop marks, spots, and discoloration. Coins in this condition can sell for thousands of dollars at auction. The current market value for the rarest examples of the 1980 no mint mark Lincoln penny, including top grade mint state coins and major error varieties, has reached as high as $89,565 at private sales and high-end auctions. This is not the value of a regular penny, but proof that one small difference can turn pocket change into a fortune. So how do you check your penny? First, look for the mint mark, or lack of one. If there is no letter under the date, that is good. Next, examine the coin under strong lighting and magnification. Look closely at the letters and numbers for doubling. Check the edges for unusual shapes. Measure the weight, because copper pennies weigh about 3.11 grams. Any significant difference could indicate a wrong planchet error. Never clean your coin. Cleaning can destroy its value instantly. If you believe you have found a rare 1980 penny, place it in a protective holder and consider having it authenticated and graded by a professional grading service. The reason collectors pay so much money for coins like this is because they represent history, rarity, and mistakes that were never meant to exist. Every error coin tells a story of a moment when something went wrong at the mint, and those mistakes are what collectors love the most. Imagine finding a penny in your drawer that you have ignored for years only to discover it could pay for a car, a house, or even change your life forever. That is why coin collectors always say check your change, because treasures are hiding in plain sight. If you enjoy learning about valuable coins like this, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications, because I regularly share rare coins that could make you rich. And before you go, comment below if you have ever found a strange penny, or if you are going to check your change right now. Remember, the next time you see a penny on the ground, do not walk past it. It might just be a 1980 no mint mark Lincoln penny worth $89,565. Today we are talking about a coin that almost everyone has touched, ignored, or even spent without a second thought. A coin that looks ordinary, common, and worthless at first glance. But if you are lucky enough to have the right one, this small copper-colored coin could be worth an astonishing $29,374. Yes, you heard that right. This video is about the 2003 no mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that has shocked collectors and continues to surprise people even today. So make sure you watch this video till the end, because the penny sitting in your pocket or coin jar right now could completely change your financial future. Let's begin by understanding why the Lincoln penny is so important in American history. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. This was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical person rather than a symbolic figure. Since then, billions upon billions of Lincoln pennies have been minted, making them one of the most familiar coins in the world. Because of this massive production, most people assume Lincoln pennies are worth only 1 cent. But history has proven again and again that some Lincoln pennies can be worth thousands, hundreds of thousands, and even millions of dollars. Now let's move to the main star of today's video, the 2003 no mint mark Lincoln penny. The year 2003 may not seem special at first. It was a regular year for the U.S. Mint, and pennies were produced in extremely large numbers. However, what makes the 2003 penny special is not just the year, but how it was made, where it was made, and the eras and conditions it exists in today. A 2003 Lincoln penny with no mint mark means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Coins minted in Philadelphia traditionally do not carry a mint mark, unlike Denver coins with AD or San Francisco coins with an S. While millions of 2003 pennies came out of Philadelphia, only a tiny fraction have the rare characteristics that collectors are desperately searching for. Let's talk about the design of the 2003 Lincoln penny. On the front side, also known as the obverse, we see Abraham Lincoln facing to the right. Above his head is the word Liberty, and to the right is the date 2003. Behind Lincoln's head is the famous phrase, "I in God we trust." The initials VDB are located on the shoulder of Lincoln, representing Victor David Brenner, the original designer of the coin. On the back side, known as the reverse, we see the Lincoln Memorial. This design was used from 1959 until 2008. At the top is the phrase United States of America, and below it is the words E pluribus unum. At the bottom is 1 cent. So far, everything sounds normal. But here is where things start to get exciting. Most 2003 Lincoln pennies are made of zinc with a thin copper coating. They weigh approximately 2.5 grams. However, some rare 2003 pennies show striking errors, unusual finishes, double details, or exceptional mint state conditions that dramatically increase their value. Now let's talk about why some 2003 no mint mark Lincoln pennies have sold for as much as $29,374. The biggest factor is mint errors. Some of the most valuable 2003 Lincoln pennies include major errors such as doubled die obverse, doubled die reverse, off-center strikes, broad strikes, die cracks, and misaligned dies. A double die error occurs when the coin die is impressed more than once at slightly different angles, creating a visible doubling effect on letters, numbers, or Lincoln's face. Collectors especially look for doubling on the words "I in God we trust," Liberty, and the date 2003. If the doubling is strong and clearly visible under magnification, the value of the coin can skyrocket. Another extremely valuable variety is a 2003 penny struck on the wrong planchet. In rare cases, pennies have been mistakenly struck on foreign coin blanks or even on blanks meant for other U.S. denominations. These error coins are incredibly rare and highly desirable. Condition is another massive factor. A regular circulated 2003 penny is worth only 1 cent. Even uncirculated examples are usually worth just a few cents. But when a 2003 no mint mark penny is found in perfect mint state condition, graded by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, the value changes dramatically. Coins graded MS68, MS69, or higher are exceptionally rare. These coins have sharp details, original luster, no scratches, and perfect surfaces. Only a handful of such coins exist, and collectors are willing to pay enormous amounts to own 1.1 such coin. A 2003 no mint mark Lincoln penny in top-tier condition with strong strike quality and flawless surfaces reached a market value of $29,374 at auction. This sale shocked many people because it proved that even modern pennies can be extremely valuable. Now let's talk about how you can check if you have one of these valuable coins. First, check the date. Make sure it says 2003. Second, look for the mint mark. If there is no letter under the date, it is from Philadelphia. Third, examine the coin closely under good lighting or a magnifying glass. Look for any doubling on the letters or numbers. Pay close attention to Lincoln's face, especially the eyes and jawline. Fourth, check the condition. Is the coin shiny with no wear? Does it still have its original red copper color? Are there any scratches or marks? Fifth, weigh the coin. A normal 2003 penny should weigh around 2.5 grams. Any difference could indicate a wrong planchet error. If you believe you have something special, never clean the coin. Cleaning can destroy its value instantly. Instead, place it in a protective holder and consider sending it to a professional grading service. Now let's talk about why collectors are paying so much money for coins like this. Coin collecting is not just about metal. It is about history, rarity, condition, and demand. As more people enter the hobby and more coins are lost or damaged over time, high-quality examples become harder to find. Modern coins in perfect condition are surprisingly rare because most people do not save them carefully. The 2003 no mint mark Lincoln penny represents a moment in modern American coinage, and when combined with rare errors or elite condition, it becomes a true treasure. Another reason for rising values is online auctions and social media. Videos like this one are educating millions of people about valuable coins, increasing demand and competition among collectors. When demand rises and supply remains extremely low, prices explode. So what does the future hold for the 2003 no mint mark Lincoln penny? Experts believe that top-graded examples and major error varieties will continue to rise in value over time. As more people check their change, the chances of finding new high-grade examples decrease. This makes already certified coins even more valuable. Even if you do not find a $29,374 penny, learning about coins like this can open the door to an exciting and profitable hobby. Many collectors started by finding just one interesting coin in their pocket. Before we end this video, remember this important message: never underestimate any coin. Always check your change. Always look closely. That ordinary penny you ignore today could be a life-changing discovery tomorrow. If you enjoyed this video and want more rare coin value videos just like this, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Comment below if you have ever found a rare penny or if you are going to check your coins right after watching this. Thank you for watching, and remember, treasure is often hiding in the smallest places. Today we are talking about one of the most overlooked modern coins that could completely change your life if you find the right one in your pocket change. This is the 1995 no mint mark Lincoln penny, a simple 1-cent coin that most people ignore every single day, yet certain rare examples have sold for an astonishing $52,928. Yes, a penny worth more than a luxury car, and possibly sitting in old jars, drawers, or coin collections right now. Before you ever spend another penny, You need to watch this entire video carefully because what looks ordinary could actually be extremely valuable. The 1995 Lincoln penny without a mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally does not use a mint mark on pennies. That is why you see no letter below the date. Millions of these coins were minted, and most of them are only worth face value. However, hidden among these common coins are extremely rare varieties, errors, and high-grade examples that collectors are willing to pay massive amounts of money for. To truly understand why the 1995 no-mint mark Lincoln penny can be worth so much, we first need to look at the history of the Lincoln cent itself. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It became the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure instead of a symbolic image. Over the decades, the Lincoln cent has gone through multiple design changes, metal composition shifts, and minting technologies, making some years far more valuable than others. By 1995, the Lincoln penny featured the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, designed by Victor David Brenner, and the Lincoln Memorial on the back, which had been used since 1959. At first glance, the 1995 penny looks no different from millions of others produced during the 1990s. But the real value lies in the details, and this is where collectors make serious money. The 1995 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is composed of 97.5% zinc with a thin copper plating, a change that began in 1982. Because of this zinc core, many pennies from this era corrode easily, which makes well-preserved examples far rarer than people realize. Coins that survived in pristine condition without corrosion, scratches, or discoloration are extremely hard to find today. One of the biggest reasons this penny can be worth up to $52,928 is the presence of rare minting errors. Mint errors are mistakes that happen during the coin production process, and collectors love them because they are unique and cannot be replicated. Some of the most valuable 1995 Lincoln pennies include double die errors, off-center strikes, broad strikes, die cracks, and wrong planchet errors. The most famous and valuable variety is the 1995 double die obverse Lincoln penny. This error occurs when the coin die strikes the design twice at slightly different angles, creating a doubling effect that can be clearly seen with the naked eye or a magnifying glass. On the 1995 double die penny, the doubling is most visible on the word Liberty, the date 1995, and the phrase "I in God we trust." The letters appear thick, shadowed, or slightly separated, and this is not damage or wear. It is a genuine mint error. Collectors go absolutely crazy for strong double die examples, especially ones in mint state condition. Some high-grade examples of the 1995 double die Lincoln penny have sold for tens of thousands of dollars, with top specimens reaching prices close to $52,928 at major auctions. These coins are certified by professional grading services like PCGS and NGC, which authenticate and grade the coin to confirm its rarity and condition. Condition plays a massive role in determining value. A circulated 1995 penny that has been used in everyday transactions may only be worth a few cents, even if it has a minor error. But a mint state coin with sharp details, full copper luster, no visible wear, and strong strike quality can be worth thousands. Coins graded MS67, MS68, or higher are incredibly rare and are the ones commanding jaw-dropping prices. Another factor that increases value is red color designation. When a copper-plated penny retains its original bright red color, grading services label it as red. Red pennies are much more desirable than red-brown or brown examples. A 1995 no-mint mark Lincoln penny graded MS68 red with a strong error can easily reach the five-figure range. Some 1995 pennies also feature off-metal errors, meaning they were struck on the wrong type of planchet. Imagine a Lincoln penny struck on a dime planchet, or another foreign coin blank. These mistakes are incredibly rare and highly collectible. Because they were never supposed to exist, collectors will pay huge premiums to own one. Die cracks and cuds are another exciting category. These occur when the coin die becomes damaged and begins transferring cracks or missing chunks of metal onto the coin design. Large die breaks that affect Lincoln's portrait, or the lettering can significantly increase the coin's value, especially when combined with high grade. Now let's talk about why collectors are so obsessed with the 1995 penny specifically. The 1990s were a transitional period in U.S. coin minting technology, and quality control issues led to more noticeable errors slipping into circulation. While millions of pennies were minted, only a tiny fraction had collectible errors, and even fewer survived in top condition. This creates a perfect storm for high values. High demand, low supply, and strong collector interest push prices higher every year. As more people search for rare coins and more pennies are damaged, lost, or destroyed, the remaining high-quality examples become even more valuable. If you are wondering how to check your own 1995 Lincoln pennies, the first step is to look at the date and confirm there is no mint mark below it. Next, grab a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe and carefully inspect the words Liberty and In God We Trust. Look for doubling that appears raised and rounded, not flat or worn. Machine doubling is common and not valuable, but true double die errors show clear separation and thickness. Also examine the coin's overall condition. Is the surface smooth and shiny, or dull and scratched? Look for unusual shapes, missing letters, cracks, or off-center designs. Even small abnormalities could indicate a valuable error. If you believe you have found something special, never clean the coin. Cleaning destroys value instantly. Instead, place it in a protective holder and consider sending it to a professional grading service. Certification not only protects the coin but also proves authenticity, which is essential for selling at high prices. Collectors and investors continue to hunt for modern rare coins like the 1995 no mint mark Lincoln penny because they offer a unique opportunity. Unlike ancient coins, these are still hiding in circulation, waiting to be discovered by everyday people. That is what makes this hobby so exciting. Anyone can find a life-changing coin. The market value of $52,928 represents the upper end for exceptional examples with rare errors and top grades. Even if your coin is not worth that much, many 1995-era pennies still sell for hundreds or thousands of dollars, which is incredible for a coin originally worth just 1 cent. As time goes on, modern rare pennies are gaining more respect in the collecting world. Younger collectors are entering the hobby, demand is increasing, and high-grade examples are disappearing fast. That means values could continue to rise, making now the perfect time to start checking your change. So the next time you see a 1995 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, do not ignore it. Look closely. That small copper-colored coin could be worth more than you ever imagined. It could pay off debt, fund a business, or even change your entire future. If you enjoy learning about hidden treasures like this, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another rare coin that could make you rich. Drop a comment below if you have ever found an unusual penny, and tell us what year it was. Remember, history and fortune can be hiding in the palm of your hand, and sometimes all it takes is one penny to change everything.